Weigh in. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's introduced articles of impeachment, I think one of the first ones, and Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Guys, welcome back to the program. Are we back to work today officially? What's the day that y'all get back to work?
Tomorrow, on Tuesday.
All right. Tuesday the 12th, we're back to work. I've heard from you, Marjorie. I've heard from Boebert. I've heard from Tim. I've heard from Greg Steube. I've heard from Corey Mills. There's a lot of Freedom Caucus people saying, we're going to push McCarthy. This is happening immediately. It needs to be done. We've heard of that, a lot of that for months, guys. Is something going to happen or not this week? I'll give it to you first, Marjorie. Ladies first.
Well, I certainly hope so. And after watching that, those videos you showed of our president of the United States, maybe we should be calling for the 25th Amendment, not just impeachment inquiry. But I really do hope we have the votes, Dan. We should have the votes. An impeachment inquiry is so much different than actually voting for impeachment. It's just simply asking the question, can we take a peek? Can we look further? Can we open an investigation into Joe Biden? And what I hope to see, Dan, is a yes from every single Republican in our conference, because that is such an easy vote to cast. A simple yes vote for an impeachment inquiry.
Yes, it is. You'd think it'd be a simple one. Tim, we'll let you weigh in. What do you think will happen this week?
Yeah, I think we need to get on with it. It doesn't need to be a CBS-produced January 6th production. I think that we don't need walkout music. Although I do feel like Goldfinger, my dadgum cat came up here. It hates me, and all of a sudden it jumps up here in my lap. I don't know what's going on.
The cat hates Joe Biden too.
It does. I don't know. It's not even my dadgum cat. I don't know. Anyway. Anyway, there it goes. But no, I don't think he's going to make it. He's not going to make it to the primary. I think they're going to use his mental capacity as his. They're going to all just shovel it off on him, on Joe Biden, and his son will, and they'll use his mental capacity. And I think they'll all walk because the American public is not fired up enough about this thing. We've got it. I think the evidence is before us. Marjorie and I have been through so many of these dadgummit. The first time we were. I guess over at the Justice Department, looking at the files. I mean, it was just, I said that, you know, during mob school, the Biden crime family fell asleep during money laundering class. I mean, how many LLCs they have, Marjorie? 21, 22 LLCs they're running money through.
Dozens.
But how do we, guys, let me ask this then to either one of you. How do we get the American people more fired up? Because the mainstream media doesn't want to cover it. And obviously, you've got everyone from Google to all the social media big giants, either suppressing information, hiding it, the algorithm hides it, whatever. People don't see it. I was just home in the Midwest on vacation for 10 days. I talked with folks that consider themselves conservative Christian patriots. I talked about stories that you and I all talk about on this program, including you, Marjorie, Tim, everybody watching. Some of these folks had no idea what I was talking about. And I'm like,
it better be a quick and concise. It has to be a quick and concise case. And we can do it in a week, I think. I think we just put all that information out and let's go. And let's get it to the Judiciary Committee so that they can go on and start with the impeachment.
Marjorie, can I switch gears and ask you something totally unrelated to Joe Biden? I want to, real quick before we wrap up, do January 6th. A lot of stuff happening the last few days over different cases. And I still have a request in with the Speaker to get the video that they gave to Tucker Carlson and other outlets. And tons of media wants to see it. I know you made a post about it, so I got to ask you, can we ever get the damn footage so we can review it at OAN and we can show our viewers?
Dan, I fully support you getting the footage. I actually support the American people seeing the footage. I still believe in releasing the tapes, and I think that's the right thing to do. Okay. But the Speaker's office is the office you have to contact, and they've put out instructions on how you can view the tapes. And so I certainly hope that they call you back, Dan, because they should. After all, you are an American taxpayer, and they've released the information and saying that they'll give all media.
I got Kevin on camera earlier this year on this show saying he'd give it to me, and we haven't heard squat. Last question to both of you guys. Your good friend Nancy Pelosi just said she's running for re-election at 83 years old. For the love of God. We've watched Mitch McConnell freeze twice. We've watched Joe make an ass of himself on the world stage for 2.5 years. You got Dianne Feinstein from getting wheelchaired in and falling down. I mean, this is ridiculous with this stuff, guys. Can we get something in about age requirements, mental and physical tests, something? Either one of you.
I would think so. Listen, let me tell you something, Dan. I would think we'd be able to pass that kind of important testing done on the people that are writing the checks on behalf of the American people. But what I'm focused on right now is getting an impeachment inquiry done. And that needs to happen ASAP.
I agree.
And I'll push back a little bit on you guys. I think the American people are fired up. As a matter of fact, CNN poll said 61% of Americans believe Joe Biden was involved in Hunter Biden's business deals and that he's guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. The American people are fired up. It's Congress. Congress is the problem.
There you
and
go.
We need to get Congress fired up.
Need
and get
Republicans.
Congress serious.
That's right. Let's throw the people under the bus that deserve it and that damn cat and say what needs to be said. Can you two
I don't know what the
get
thing's
the
name
Republicans
is.
fired
I don't know
up,
what its name
please?
is. Hey, but don't you want San Francisco values for the rest of the country? I mean, that's what Speaker Pelosi said that America needs.
Yeah, and Newsom's out here gearing up to probably run if they do 25th Joe, and I'm scared as anyway.
Newsom's
I'm
running.
out of time, guys. The three of us could sit here and do the whole hour, I'm sure. Please come back on. It was a lot of fun, but we got some serious stuff to tend to, so we'll be watching closely this week.
Okay.
I better see impeachment.
See you tomorrow, Marjorie.
We're trying.
You're
We're trying.
Tim.
Okay, Dan. See ya.
Burchett, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thank you both. Appreciate you so much. God bless you.